With this video, we are going to demonstrate how to perform heat balance test on single cylinder diesel engine. Here we have the test setup of single cylinder diesel engine in which we have to perform heat balance sheet test. Okay. So the setup is same as for the load test on diesel engine. The addition of this experiment is that we have to measure various temperature readings here. We have to measure the temperature readings. Let us understand which are these temperatures. So here T1 is the temperature of inlet air. So whatever the temperature of inlet, that is the atmospheric air, that is uh, that temperature is indicated with this value. Second is the temperature of the output of exhaust, means output of engine is the exhaust, so that temperature is T2 temperature. T3 temperature is the temperature of water inside the engine. T4 temperature is the temperature of water which is coming out from the engine. T5 is the temperature which is water that is coming in the calorimeter, and T6 is the temperature of water that is coming out from the calorimeter. T7 is the temperature of exhaust gases that are coming out from the calorimeter. So whatever the exhaust gas temperature that is provided to the calorimeter, that is equal to the engine exhaust, means the temperature of the exhaust from the engine is directly given to the calorimeter. Okay, so these temperature readings we have to take for the heat balance test. In this heat balance test, we have to measure the fuel supply here for this particular load that we will adjust from this dimmer stat by regulating this knob. We will have the load displayed in this display unit. For this particular load, what is the specific fuel consumption that we will measure from this pipette. So measure the time required to consume the 10 cubic centimeters. Then measure the manometer reading so as to have the discharge of air through this pipe to the engine. So note down these two readings in the particular observation. Note down the temperature readings. Now note down the rotameter readings. This reading is for the engine, this reading is for the calorimeter, means supply of water from engine and supply of water in calorimeter. So from these two rotameters we will have the particular value of flow of water through engine and calorimeter. Now let us move towards the observation and calculation. These are the observations. Engine is a 4-stroke single cylinder engine. Bore stroke length of dynamometer. The diameter of orifice is 20 mm. Coefficient of discharge for the orifice is 0.6. Density of fuel, calorific value and ambient temperature. It is important. Here the speed is constant. We are taking the speed as a constant level. Load that we have adjusted, that we will write down here. For that particular load we will write down the temperatures. Previously I have stated the temperatures, so that was by mistake. Let us understand these temperatures. T1 is the temperature of exhaust gas. T2 is the temperature of inlet to the engine. T3 is the temperature of water outlet to the engine. T4 is the temperature of water inlet to the calorimeter, and T5 is the temperature of water outlet to the calorimeter. Here we will write down the fuel consumption. Here we will write down the water flow through engine liters per hour and water flow through calorimeter liters per hour. After calculation we have to fill this heat balance sheet. Now let us move toward the calculations. See, heat balance sheet means we have to tabulate what is the amount of heat supplied and what are the heat utilizations. The amount of heat supplied is the heat supplied by the fuel, which is given by the formula mf into cv, where mf is the specific fuel consumption and cv is the calorific value of fuel. Now there are four standard heats to be utilized. First one is the heat equivalent to brake power. Second one is the heat utilized in cooling water. Third one is the heat carried by the exhaust gas, and unaccounted heat, it refers to the radiation and convection heat losses. So we will calculate this heat utilization and heat supplied, and we will tabulate these results and the calculations. So to determine the heat supplied to the engine, first of all we will determine the mass of fuel consumed. So the mass of fuel consumed is given by the formula volume of fuel divided by time into density. So it will get in kg per minute. So here we have to take the time in minute. Okay. If you take the time in second, we have to convert it into minute. To find out the heat supplied, we have the formula mf into cv. Mf is the fuel consumed into cv is the calorific value. So we will have this unit in kg per minute. Remember one thing, that in university examination most of the times the problem is asked on the heat balance sheet is on kilojoule per minute basis. That's why we are keeping this unit constant throughout the calculation. Now as we know, the heat is utilized in four ways. So first one is the heat equivalent to brake power. Now to determine the heat equivalent to brake power, first of all we will calculate the torque. To calculate the torque, we have formula torque is equal to display mass into 9.81 into dynamometer arm. When we put this value in this brake power equation, we will have the brake power in terms of kilowatt. Kilowatt is nothing but kilojoule per second. Kilojoule per second. But we have to convert this kilojoule per second into kilojoule per minute. So this much amount of heat is generated per second. So for 1 second this much amount of heat is generated, multiply by 6, we will have the heat equivalent to brake power in terms of kilojoule per minute. Next heat expenditure is the heat carried away by the cooling water through the engine. So to find out this heat carried away by cooling water from engine, we have the formula QW is equal to MW CPW into T0 minus T1. Here MW means mass of water, CPW means specific heat of water at constant pressure, T0 means the temperature of outlet water, and T1 means the temperature of inlet water. So to calculate the mass of water through the circulated through the engine, we have the formula flow rate, that is liter per hour, into density of water. So we will have the mass in terms of kg per minute, and the value for Cp of water is standard, it is 4.2 kilojoule per kg. When we put these values in this equation, we will have the heat carried away by cooling water, it is in terms of kilojoule per minute. Now next is the heat carried away by the exhaust gases. Remember one thing, that to calculate the heat carried away by the exhaust gas, we have utilized the calorimeter. See, in calorimeter there are two types of heat utilized. First one is heat carried away by the cooling water, and second one is the heat carried away by the exhaust gases. So this formula will give the heat carried away by the exhaust gas, and this formula will give the heat carried away by the cooling water. Eg means exhaust gas and Wc means cooling water. We do not have the mass of exhaust gas, we do not have the Cp for exhaust gas. We have the exhaust gas outlet temperature and air inlet temperature. We have the mass of water which is circulated through the calorimeter, that we have taken in the observations. We have the Cp of water, that this value we will directly use here. The temperature of cooling water inside the calorimeter, outside the calorimeter, and minus temperature of water inside the calorimeter. Now to have the mass of exhaust gases, we will have the formula mass of exhaust gas is equal to mass of air plus mass of fuel. To calculate the mass of air, first of all calculate the volume of air. So volume of air is determined by this formula 840 into A0. A0 is the area of orifice meter, that is pi by 4 into d square. We have the diameter of orifice as 20 mm. CD is the discharge coefficient of discharge for orifice. HW is the height of the deflection in manometer, rho A is the density of air. So with this formula we will have the volume of air supplied. So by multiplying the density we will have the mass of air, or directly with this formula we can have the mass of air. So instead of using this formula we can use this formula also. So in this formula directly we have to put the value of area of orifice, that is pi by 4 into d square into CD, means coefficient of discharge, into under root 2 delta P by rho A into rho A. How to calculate this delta P? Delta P is equal to rho W, that is density of water, into G, that is 9.81, into HW. HW is height of water column, that is manometer deflection. Now by putting this mass of exhaust gas in this equation we will have the value of this exhaust gases. Now to have the coefficient specific heat at constant pressure of the exhaust gas, we will establish one relation between the water circulated through calorimeter and water exhaust gases through the calorimeter. So by taking that relation we will calculate this specific heat of exhaust gas. So it is near about 1 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Now to calculate the unaccounted heat, here is the calculation to calculate the specific heat of exhaust gas. So heat rejected at calorimeter is equal to the heat absorbed by the water. Okay, whatever the heat is rejected by the exhaust gas in the calorimeter, that is absorbed by the water. Now heat rejected at calorimeter is equal to mass of exhaust gas into Cp of exhaust gas into bracket temperature of exhaust gas at the outlet of calorimeter minus temperature of exhaust gas at the inlet of calorimeter. These values we know, mass of this exhaust gas we know. Our aim is to determine the value of this Cp for exhaust gas. Mass of water in calorimeter, that we know. Specific heat at constant pressure of water we know. Temperature of water outside the calorimeter, that we know, and temperature of water inside the calorimeter, that we know. So the heat carried away by the exhaust gas is given by this formula directly. Okay, here we see the difference in these two formulas, that mass of exhaust gas into Cp of exhaust gas into temperature of exhaust gas at outlet minus temperature of inlet air. Okay. Now tabulate the result here. Whatever the heat supplied kilojoule per minute, that we have to write here, its percentage is 100%. Whatever the heat equivalent to the break power, that we have to write down here in terms of kg per minute. The heat utilized in cooling water in kg per minute, heat carried by exhaust gas in kg per minute. And to calculate the unaccounted heat, subtract this addition from heat supplied. Therefore the unaccounted heat is equal to heat supplied by the fuel minus heat equivalent to break power minus heat utilized in cooling water minus heat carried by exhaust gases. So it will give the value of unaccounted heat. So that we will write down here in kg per minute. To have the percentage value with respect to this heat equivalent to break power, divide this heat equivalent to break power with fuel supply. Means for example, heat supplied by the fuel is suppose 3000 kilojoule per minute, and if suppose the heat equivalent to break power is 1000 kilojoule per minute, then this 1000 divided by 3000 will give the percentage of heat equivalent to break power. Now repeat the same procedure to find out the percentage of heat utilized. So this percentage must be 100%, and this total heat utilized must be equal to total heat supplied.